Good morning, ma'am. My name is Pheladi. Today I'm going to be talking about a research project that the company Soaps for Africa asked us to do. Soaps for Africa approached us, the researcher, to evaluate the South African market with regards to liquid detergent. The problem statement is that the South African market is booming, and they found information on the market before they can actually enter the market. Then we have two research questions and two research objectives that were established. The two research questions is that which pricing strategy can be used in the research and which packaging in the South African market can be the most suitable to use. The two research objectives can be known as to determine which packaging will be the most suitable to use and to establish the most suitable pricing strategy. Then we have a literature review. A literature review was compiled about the study of the market in Africa for the company Soaps for Africa. The two research questions were used to formulate the whole literature review, as mentioned above. The pricing, the questions of pricing and packaging. Then we discussed the concept of pricing and packaging. The concept of pricing and packaging was market scheming and market penetration. Then we established that market penetration is when you set a low price for a product, and then as the product has entered the market, you then set a higher price bit by bit. Then market scheming is when you set a high price to get a target market and consumers. Then we also established the concept for the packaging. We have the paperboard boxes, we have the plastic boxes, we have the fuel boxes and the rigid boxes. Then we went to a section called methodology. Methodology has a lot of concepts under them, which are as follows. We have descriptive research. Descriptive research was used to paint a detailed picture for the study. Then we have a survey, online surveys. Then we have a survey. Online questionnaires were used for the survey. Then we have a section called research methodology, which we used quantitative research. We use quantitative because it is used for small studies and it is presented in numbers and also in graphs. Then we also had a research paradigm. A research paradigm, it is the study that is collected in the form of numbers, and it is the prediction of human action and the usage of human action. Then we also had primary data. Primary data, it is data that has not yet been known. But now, since we collected primary data with the use of online questionnaires. Then we have population. Population was used to establish the number of people in the sample. Population helped us determine how many people will be there in the sample with regards to the study. Then we also had sampling type. The sampling type that we used was judgmental. Judgmental is that a researcher chooses a sample based on the existing knowledge. Then the sample type was based on the ages of 18 to 35 and it was female only. The sample size can be defined as a small data that the research chooses. The sample size was 10. 10 questionnaires were issued for the sample. And it was based on the ages between 18 and 35. Then we have handling and non-responsive of data. When handling missing data, the researcher had to make sure of all the data before so that the research is not biased. And when handling of missing data, the research should make sure that the missing data will make the conclusion incomplete, or it will have a reduction in stats. The study will not be complete because of some data is missing. Then data collection. Data collection was collected through primary data. As mentioned before, primary data is data that has not been collected before. Data collection was collected through primary data in the form of online questionnaires, and the online questionnaires were created by Google Forms in order for the respondent to answer the questionnaires online. Then we have data analysis. We have established that the data analysis is descriptive because of no hypothesis was used, no t-test was used, no mean, no modium was also used. Then we have validity and reliability. Contact validity was used in the research while conducting the study. Then we have ethical consideration. The researcher has the responsibility to make sure that the information that was given during the study is not fraudulent. The researcher has the responsibility to make sure that the privacy of the respondent is at safety. The research will ask personal information. The researcher needs to make sure that the personal information is at safe. Then we have the result. With regards to the research questions objective and questions that we mentioned before about the pricing and packaging, we gathered in the information that with the packaging, most people preferred the paper, most people preferred the plastic boxes, which 50% of the respondents preferred the plastic boxes, which was 5 out of 10. Then we established that the other 4, known as the corrugated, which was 20% of the people. Then the other 3, known as the foil, known as the paperboard, and everything listed, each weighed 10% of each with the result. So the respondents preferred the plastic boxes when it came to packaging. Then we also, regarding the results, we also saw that with regards to the pricing, many people established that the market penetration is the most suitable price. 90% of the respondents said that the market penetration, it is the most suitable price that they wanted to do, and 10% was only focused on the market scheming. The most suitable price that will be used for the research is the market penetration. Then we also established that 70% of the people want to try a new product that is both organic, that is both good for sensitive skin, and 30% were very skeptical about the organic and sensitive skin for the project. Then we established the ethical consideration and recommendation. No, the recommendations and limitations of the study. With regards to the proposal that we did before, we said that the limitation was that the researcher is inexperienced, the study is way too small, the pandemic that the world is facing, COVID, forced the company to use online instead of paper-based, and the sample is too small and it is difficult to locate information from the sample. The recommendation of when the sample is too small and too generalized is that the researcher needs to understand how to choose an appropriate sample size and conduct the research, and the researcher can choose the sample size by using scientific tools. Then when the sample size is too small and the study doesn't have enough information, the recommendation is that it can be addressing the flow in the research and examine the test as a theory. The researcher is inexperienced. The recommendation can be that the researcher must build a particular finding in the research when the researcher is inexperienced. Then the pandemic is forcing online questionnaires instead of paper-based. The organization needs to make it a norm in the company to use online questionnaires rather than paper-based, so that the people in the company can be used to online. Then the researcher needs to conduct the same research study in a new location that is in a different context as well in a different culture. To conclude, the research was conducted and all the research questions and objectives were also answered, and thus SOPs for Africa have a broader understanding and more information about the market that they want to enter, about the liquid detergent market, and then therefore they can choose to enter the market of the African detergent because they have all the information that was needed. Thank you.